paragraph page 1187.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last head word was assertive, new word type of lesson. Okay,
Okay.
so let's start with revision. Ready? Here we
Okay,
go.
I'm ready. Okay.
Make sentences containing an adjective with the suffix al. Make
Yeah.
sentences containing an adjective with the suffix al, please.
Please.
My grammatical
My
knowledge
grammatical knowledge
of French is
of
limited.
French is limited to
Very good. The teacher made
the teacher
an
made
intentional
an
mistake
intentional mistake
to see if
to
anyone would
see if
notice.
anyone would notice.
Very good. Make sentences containing an adjective with the suffix ive. Make
Yeah.
sentences containing an adjective with the suffix ive, please. It was a good
It was a
performance,
good
and the
sorry.
it was a good performance,
It was good
and
performance,
the audience
and the
were very
audience were
responsive.
very responsible.
Reports suggest
Report
an
suggests
explosive
an
device
explosive
has
device
been found in the
has
building.
been found in the building.
Make it make sentence containing an adjective with a suffix ous. Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix ous, please.
Yes.
This food is
This
very
food
tasty,
is very
but not
tasty,
very
but
nutritious.
not very nutritious.
Many of us may
Many
become
of us
ill
may become ill
because this
because
disease
this
is
disease
highly
is
infectious.
highly infectious.
Very good. Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix ic.
I
Make
see.
sentences make sentences with an adjective with a suffix ic, please.
I
Why
see.
did you make
Why did you
such
make
an idiotic
such an
decision?
idiotic decision?
If you like dramatic stories,
If you like dramatical
you'll
story,
definitely
you
enjoy this book.
definitely enjoy this book.
Very good. Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix y. Make
Why?
sentences containing an adjective with a suffix y, please.
Why?
The laptop was
The laptop
faulty,
was
so I
faulty,
returned it to the
so
shop.
I returned it to the shop.
It may be a risky thing to do,
It may be a risky thing to do,
but I think it's your
but I
best
think
option.
it's should best option.
Very good. Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix able. Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix able, please.
Please.
This part of town
This part of
is
town
becoming
is
highly
becoming
desirable.
highly desirable.
He's not particularly
He's not
clever,
particularly
but
clever,
he's very
but
likable.
he's very likable.
Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix ible. Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix ible, please. My mother's
My
chocolate
mother,
cakes. My
uh,
mother's chocolate cakes
okay, my mother chocolate cakes
are irresistible.
are irresistible.
The website
The
won't be
website,
accessible,
the website
won't be accessible
won't be
to
accessible
anyone
to
outside
anyone
the
outside
university.
the university.
Regard, if you were working for a meager salary and knew that people in other companies were
The
performing the
company
same
will
role
perform
as
the
you for
same
far
role
more
as you
money,
perform
would you
more money.
demand a rise? If you
Demand
were
a rise.
working for a meager salary and knew that people in other companies were performing the same role
Performing
as
the
you
same role
for
as you
far more money,
for far
would
more
you demand a
money.
rise?
Would you
Yes or
demand a
no?
rise? Yes.
If I were working
If I
for
were
a meager
working for
salary
a mega
and
salary
knew that
and
people
knew
in
that the
other
people in
companies
other
were
companies
performing the
were
same role
performing
as
the
me
same role as
for
me
far more money,
for far more
I
money,
demand a
I
rise.
demand a rise.
Very good. Why is it advisable for frail elderly people to walk with a stick?
To work with a
Why
stick.
is it advisable for frail elderly people to walk with a stick? It's advisable
It's
for
advisable
frail
for
elderly
frail
people
elderly
to
people
walk with a
to
stick
walk with a stick
because they're likely
because
to
they're
hurt
likely
themselves,
to turn them,
hurt
they likely to
themselves
hurt themselves
if they fall over.
if they fall over.
One more. It's advisable
It's
for
advisable
frail
for
elderly
frail
people
elderly
to
people
walk with a
to
stick
walk with a stick
because they're likely
because they
to
are
hurt
likely to
themselves
hurt
if
themselves
they fall over.
if they fall over.
Regid, why is it that we sometimes take to a person
Take to a
quickly when
person
we chat with them for the
who
first
try the
time?
first one.
Why is it that we sometimes take to a person quickly when we chat with them for the first time? We sometimes
We
take
sometimes
to a person
take to a
quickly
person
when
quickly
we chat with
when we
them for
chat
the
with
first
them for
time
the first time
because we discover
because we
we
discover
have mutual
we have
interest. We
we
have
have
mutual interest,
mutual
a
interest,
similar sense of
a
humor,
similar sense of humor,
etc.
etc.
Regid, name a field of work in which you think sheer determination and hard work are not enough for a person to succeed. Name a field of work in which you think sheer determination and hard work are not enough for a person to succeed, please. I think
I think surgeon
is a field of
is
work
a field of work
in which sheer
in which
determination
sheer
and
determination
hard work
and
are
hard
not
work
enough for
are
a
not
person
enough
to
for a
succeed.
person to succeed.
Very good. So what else do you think is necessary for success? So what else do you think is necessary for success? I think
I think natural talent
is necessary
is
for
necessary
success.
for success.
Very good. Name a species of animal that we often think of as being extremely agile. Name a species of animal that we often think of as being extremely agile. The cat is
The
a
cat
species of
is a
animal
species of
that we
animal
often think
that
of
we often
as
think of
being
as
extremely
being
agile.
extremely agile.
Very good. If you were a teacher, would you sooner have a docile class or one that tended to be a bit rowdy? If you're a
Rowdy.
teacher, would you sooner have a docile class or one that tended to be a bit
One that
rowdy? If
rowdy.
I were a teacher,
If I were a
I'd
teacher,
sooner have
I'd sooner have a docile class
than a bit rowdy
than
one.
bit rowdy one.
Very good. Why? Why? Because
Because teacher feel easier to teach their children, students. Sorry,
very good. Okay, next. Give me an example of the phrase let alone. Give me an example of the phrase let alone, please. He couldn't run to
he couldn't
catch a
run
bus,
to catch a
let
bus,
alone
let alone
complete a marathon.
complete a marathon.
Very good. When frogs are on land, do they usually walk or hop? When frogs are on land, do they usually walk or hop? When frogs are
When
on
frogs
land,
are on
they
land,
usually hop.
they usually hop.
What does the verb hop mean when it's used to describe the way a person is moving? What does the verb hop mean when it's used to describe the way a person is moving? When the verb hop
When the
is
verb hop
used to
is used
describe the
to
way
describe
a
the way
person is moving,
a person is
it means a
person is
person is
moving,
moving. It means to
it
jump
means
on one leg
to jump
only.
on one leg only.
Very good. Which would you say was best to inherit, brains, beauty, or money? Which would you say it was best to inherit, brains, beauty, or money? I'd say it
I'd
was best to
say it
inherit
was better to inherit the brain.
brain. Very good. In terms of character, who do you take after more, your mother or your father? In terms of character, who do you take
Character.
after more, your mother or your father? In terms of
In
character,
terms of a
I
character,
take after
I
my
take after my mother
more than my father.
more than my father.
Why is it a good idea for university students to write up any notes they take during a
They take
lecture?
the
Why is it a
structure.
good idea for university students to write up any notes they take during a
They
lecture?
take the
It's a good idea
It's a
for
good idea
university
for
students
university
to
students
write up
to
some
write up
notes they
some
take
notes
during a
they take
lecture
during the
because
lecture
it helps them
because
to
it helps them
remember the
to remember
information
the
and gives
information
them a
and
tidier
gives them a
and more
tidier,
complete
a
record
more complete
of the
record
lecture.
of the lecture.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're ducking
You
down
are ducking
as if
down
you were
as if
trying to
you are
avoid
trying to
being
avoid
hit or seen.
being hit or seen.
Very good. What are the two meanings of the verb gauge? What are the two meanings of the verb gauge? The two
The
meanings of
two
the
meanings
verb
of
gauge
the verb
are
gauge
measure
are
precisely,
measure
measure,
precisely
and estimate or
and
judge.
estimate or judge.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. We must gauge the
We must
width
gauge
of the
the
window
width of the
before
window
cutting the glass
before
to fit.
cutting the glass to
It's
fit.
hard to gauge
It's hard to
whether
gauge
he's suitable for
whether
the
he's
job.
suitable for the job.
Regit, is it the custom in your country for friends to embrace if they haven't seen each other for a while?
Each other for a
Is it the
while.
custom in your country for friends to embrace if they haven't seen each other for a while? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't the
it
custom
isn't
in
a
my
custom
country
in my
for
country
friends to
for
embrace
friends to
if they
embrace
haven't seen
if
each
they
other
haven't
for a
seen each
while.
other for a while.
Very good. What does the word tug mean? What does the word tug mean? The word tug
The word
means
tug means
pull hard.
pull hard.
What does the word shove mean? What does the word shove mean? The word
The
shove
word
means
shove
push
means to
hard.
push hard.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. I tugged too hard,
I tug too
and the
hard,
old door
and the
handle
old door
came
handles
off in my hand.
came off in my
She
hand.
shoved me
He
into the
shoved
swimming
me
pool
into the swimming
as a
pool
joke.
as a joke.
Very good. What reason might someone have for dropping out of an academic course? What reason might someone have for dropping out on an academic course? someone might drop
someone
out
might
of
drop
an
out of
academic
an
course
academic course
because they find it
because
boring,
they find it boring,
too difficult,
too
etc.
difficult, etc.
Have you ever been trashed by an opponent while playing sport? Have you ever been trashed by an opponent while playing sport? Yes or no?
No,
Have
I
never
have
been trashed
never been
by
trashed
an opponent
by an
when
opponent
playing sport.
when playing sports
Is it strange to think that school teachers used to be allowed to trash pupils as a punishment?
as a punishment.
Is it strange to think that school teachers used to be allowed to trash pupils as a punishment? Yes, it's
Yes,
strange to think
it's strange to
that
think
school
that
teachers
school
used to be
teachers
allowed
used to be
to
allowed
trash
to
pupils
trash
as a
people
punishment.
as a punishment.
What do we mean by an assertive person? What do we mean by an assertive person? By an
By
assertive
a
person,
certain
we
person,
mean
we mean
someone who
someone
communicates
who
their feelings
communicates their
clearly
feelings
and
clearly
firmly
and
in order
firmly
to get
and
what
in
they
order
want,
to get what they
but
want,
without being
but
aggressive.
without being aggressive.
Name a situation in which it's important to behave assertively. Name a situation in which it's important to behave assertively, please. It's important to
It's
behave
important
assertively
to behave
when you're
assertively
asking for a
when
pay
you are
rise,
asking for a pay rise,
demanding a refund, etc.
demanding a refund, etc.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word.
Okay.
Okay, repeat. Cling, clung, clung.
Cling, clang, clang,
Clutch.
clutch.
We're going to listen. Cling means to hold onto something or
Hold on
someone very
something, someone
tightly.
very
For
tightly.
example, a small child might cling onto
Child
their mother's
cling
arm in
onto
a
their
crowd
mother's arm
because
in
they're
the
scared
crowd
of getting
because
lost.
they're scared of get lost.
Cling, clung, clung are the three forms of the verb to cling.
To cling.
A verb that means similar to cling is clutch. For example, she clutched her bag tightly as she got into the
As
crowded
she got into
underground
the
train.
crowded underground train.
Let's practice. What are the three forms of the verb cling? What are the three forms of the verb cling? The three
The
forms
three
of
forms
the
of
verb
the
cling
verb cling
are
are
cling, clung,
cling,
clung.
clang, clang.
Very good. Why might a small child cling onto their mother's arm in a crowd?
In a
Why
crowd.
might a small child
Small
cling
child
on to their
cling
mother's
onto
arm
their
in a
mother's arm
crowd?
in a
A small
crowd.
child
A small
might
child
cling on to
might
their
cling
mother's
on to
arm
their mother's
in a
arm
crowd
in a
because
crowd
they're
because
scared of
they
getting
are
lost.
scared of getting lost.
Which other verb is similar in meaning to cling? Which other verb is similar in meaning to cling? Clutch is a verb
Clutch
that
is a
is
verb
similar in
that
meaning
is
to
similar
cling.
in cleaning to cling,
Meaning to cling.
meaning to cling.
Wait, one more. Clutch is a verb
Clutch is a
that is
verb
similar in
that is
meaning to
similar
cling.
in meaning to cling.
Very good. Give me a sentence containing the verb clutch. Give me a sentence containing the verb clutch, please. She clutched her bag
She clutched her
tightly
bag
as she got
tightly
into
as
the
she got
crowded
into the
underground
crowded
train.
underground train.
Very good. Next, repeat. Revolve.
Revolve.
Very good. Okay, listen. Revolve means to turn round a
Turn
center
round
point
a
or
center
line.
point or line.
Also means rotate.
Also means
Revolve.
routine.
For example,
Revolve
the earth revolves around the sun.
around the sun.
Let's practice. Does the earth revolve around the sun or vice versa? Does the earth revolve around the sun or vice versa? The earth
The
revolves
earth
around the
revolves
sun.
the revolve around the sun.
Very good. Next word, exert,
Exert
policy.
polity.
Wait, okay, listen. Policy means an officially accepted set of
Usually
rules
accepted
or
set
ideas
of
about what
ideas
should be done.
about what should be
For
done.
example, each employee is given a handbook on
In a
company
handbook
policy.
on company policy.
Exert is a verb. It means
Exert
to
is verb.
cause force, effort,
Also verb.
etc.
Thought
To
etc.
have an effect or
To
to
have
be
an
felt.
effect to be
For
felt.
example, religious institutions still
Religious
exert the
institutions
same
still exert
influence
the
on
same
government
influence on
policy in my
government policy
country
in
as they
my
used to.
country as they used
Okay,
to.
but we can't
Ah,
finish that anymore, so we
okay, so
stop
just
there
a
for
minute.
today.
Yes,